So last week I forgot to delete the resources. So it has been consumed around 2000 of cost for me. So right now I'm deleting the virtual machines. Yes. So, what is an ARM template? So, actually, the ARM template is an it's a code-based deployment where the Microsoft uses this code-based deployment for deploying your resources in a very quick fashion, in a quick manner, and easily it will be get deployed. And Microsoft itself provide a repository where it has been deployed some codes, and by using that code, by using the default code, you can create your resources. So that's what we will going to see right now. Template is nothing but a copy, or you can call it as a simple like it's a written code format where you are going to use, by using that template you can create a number of resources in a simple way, and that is also used called as automation format. So automatic format, just you need to run that command, you need to create a code, and you need to run that code. So the resources is started deploying here. But whereas in your portal, what you're going to do, you're going to select next, 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 and you're selecting, you are selecting the resources, you are then you are selecting the options, and then you are deploying it. But in a ARM, just you need to mention, you need to write a code for each and every option, and you need to deploy. So there are so many questions like how can we remember the code, how can we remember the what we can say, how we can remember the commands. And it's very difficult for us to remember all the commands and all the codes. Why? Because there are a number of codes and a number of commands which we need to deploy. So that is the reason why Microsoft has created one repository, that is a default repository. By using that repository, you can make some modifications, or you can make some changes. As well as there are so other Microsoft sites from where you can create the commands, you can run the commands. Okay, that we are going to see right now. And after that we will be discussing about an Azure management. Okay, so first we will be starting with our lab session, then we will be going for a little bit theory, then we will again go with the lab sessions. Okay, so Israr, have you went to and have you checked the Friday video recording, and have you done any labs for that? But because you are facing some difficulties during the Thursday session, I have continued and I have explained the same session in the Friday also, and I think you was not available on that day. Just go through that recording and let me know if you have any queries or any doubts. Okay. Go to the home. In the home, you should type a template. Okay. ARM template. It's nothing but saying as deploy a custom template. So its keyword we will be calling it as ARM templates. Okay. So it's nothing but Azure Resource Manager. So this is also one of the management tool. So Microsoft has introduced a lot of management tools that we will be discussing right now after some time. So what are the management tools and how we can manage our resources? So right. So here you can see you have few more options. Like if you want to build your own template in an editor format, it's a plain and simply it's a blank editor tool from where you can deploy your resources. It's a blank tool where you need to specify some parameters, where variables and resources, so that you can start deploying, and you can add the resources by here by selecting a resource which type of like availability zone. If you want an availability zone, then directly you can add your availability zone like that, or as well as if you have a storage, or if you want to add a Windows virtual machine, name the Windows virtual machine. So it's a different thing, like you can add the resources once you are doing an manual deployment or manual coding. So but I don't want to go here with the manual coding. Why? Because we are not a code developers, or we are not a developers who develop the new code. So just we will be using our default codes which has been defined by Microsoft and which has been placed in your repository, which is called as ARM repository. Okay. If you click for custom deployment, you have five options here: create a virtual machine, Linux virtual machine, and create a Windows virtual machine, create a web application app, or create a SQLDB and Azure landing zone. So what do you mean by I think you all knows about what is this. So we will be creating a virtual machine by using this template. We will be creating a virtual network using this template, and by using this same template we will be creating an app services, and by using this template we will be creating an SQL database. And what is exactly an Azure landing zone? So landing zone is nothing but it's a main zone. It's a private uh, uh, zone where your all the internet things are getting land. It's, I can call it as an internet zone. It's a secure, you need to customize your security on this landing zone. Just if I click a landing zone, my default landing zone, that is called as ARM landing zone, where I have almost 178 resources. So subscription template, which is called as your landing zone. So it's a default. You don't have an authorized to perform this action. Why? Because I am not an valid action. I have not taken the valid action. So I can go and edit my parameters, but I don't want to do this one as a landing zone right now. So I will go home. I will select deploy a custom deployment, and I will select a create a Windows virtual machine. By clicking this, I will using a VM simple Windows where a 7 resources are getting added. So just expand this So just click on that. You will get a repository that is called as GitHub repository, Azure or Azure Quick Start template repository. This is a GitHub repository which has been assigned or associated with your Azure account. So directly from here, you can either you can use a simple Windows, or you can use a Red Hat Linux Windows or unmanaged Windows. So these are related, all related to VMs. So dynamic data disk, so multiple data disks will be added. So we will see the what the code is there and how we are managing it. So let me say as edit template. So if I click on edit template, so here you can see we have a number of resources. So what are the resources do you require to create a virtual machine? So to create a virtual machine, we require a storage account. So why we require a storage? So here the data will be saved in my storage location. So that's the reason I require a storage. It has been mentioned here as a resource, and type is Microsoft storage, and your version name and variable the storage account name, this will be coming here. And parameter is nothing but location, on which location you are going to install. Okay. And SQU is nothing but redundancy, which is called as local redundancy. And next parameter is your public IP address. To access your virtual machine, you require a public IP address. We are giving an option in properties, public IP allocate method. So it's nothing but we are asking to assign a public IP address by default. Then we'll have one more called as network security group, NSG, so which is called as your network security group. So here in the network security group, what I am doing is here, see, by using a name, it's a default allowed 3389. So I am defaultly allowing 3389, and priority is 100, access is allowed, and direction is inbound, and direction is means port number, protocol, everything I have mentioned here. So you can add, if you want to add, you can also add few more things here. That depends. So if I want to add another port here under a security rule, so just copy this code till here. It's opening bracket and closing bracket. So till here you copy this code and come down. Enter, again enter. Like I am modifying my template now. Okay. So I will be using the same code again here. So I will use again open bracket. So default port number I will be using allow as JT, and priority is 1001, and allow inbound destination port is an 80. Okay, protocol is TCP, and source port range anything. So source address prefix anything. So it's nothing but I have modified my template by using some ARM, a default template. I have added one more security rule over here. Okay, so that my inbound rule also get added. Like this you can modify as much as you can, and you can create the new rule. Okay, like goes to the variable again, virtual network name, and your next is your NIC card, your network interface card, which is required, and next is your VM name. So virtual machine name. So here virtual machine name, virtual machine version. So everything is written as a code, and you need to specify your computer name, your admin username and password. So here the thing is nothing but if it is mentioned as a parameters, means it's nothing but you are going to provide the input. Okay, so somewhere it has been mentioned as a variable or location. So here location means you are going to select the location. Okay. So next here VM name format. Okay, how would be your name format parameters and variable name? This is a completed code. So here I am mentioning a resource. In this column, I have mentioned a variables. So variables are again using as a storage name, nickname, address, like that you have a different files. So here we have a parameters which it's called as a string, where these are the things which I need to mention. That is called as username and admin password, DNS label prefix, public IP, like it will take from when it is been created. So these are things which can be changed means at the time of VM creation. But variables are nothing but it's a default locations which it will build. So it has been provide your IP address details and all. So everything has been provided, and so this is some type of a code we need to write. So and you will also mentioning which type of a resource is going to be used. So this is a code based template. Okay, if you want, you can load your file, you can create this file. If you can, if I want, I can download this file. Just I am downloading this template in the form of JSON format. So this file, if I try to open this, I could not, like I will use, I want to use a third party tool. Like I already installed an Visual Studio Code. Okay, Visual Studio Code, where by using this, it's deploying, it's creating my, yeah, template. This is my default file which I have downloaded it. Okay, so it's mentioned as a VM size. What the VM size I need to select? The default VM size I need to select is standard DSV uh, D2S V5. Okay, this is a standard size which I am selecting by this template. So you can change the type also here. So it depends. So that you can do it from here as well. Let's go for quick start templates. Go for deployment here. Okay, let me take as Windows right now. Edit parameters, I have not done any addition. So I will be selecting my resource group. It's nothing but resource group 3. Okay. And here I am selecting a location. See, these all are called as your parameters. If I say, if I go and click on edit, okay, see, these are nothing but resource group. I have selected it. If you go here in the template, so if you click on parameters, it says that username, admin password, DNS label, public IP. So at the time of creating a template, here you can see you are going to provide a username and you are going to provide an admin password, DNS label prefix. Here it's a by default it's taking public IP name, public IP allocation method, public IP SQS, OS version, VM size, location, and VM name. See, VM size, location, VM name, security type. So all these are a called as parameters. Parameters are the things where you are going to mention it. So these are only the things which you are going to mention. So based upon your requirement, the deployment is going to create a environment for you. So it's nothing but this is a code based. So you need not to understand more on this part. As an administrator, we are not doing any coding, or we are not doing going to deploy any codes. Just you need to understand how you can collect the how you can use an ARM to deploy the resources on your Azure environment. So just for your understanding purpose, just I am telling what exactly is a parameter, what exactly a variable, and what exactly a resource. So parameters are the things, are the inputs which need to be provided by the user end, means from our end. So that's the reason we will write it as a parameter over there. So parameter are the blocks, are the content where we need to specify it. Okay. So don't bother about anything like how we can learn the codes and all. Codes are, we are not going to do any coding. We are not going to we are not going to write a new code. We are not going to do any coding language on the Azure front for now. Why? Because this course is dealing with only with an operational, that is called as a Azure Operation Manager or Azure Operation things. So where you only need to understand it. That's it. So not more than that. The coding can be done by a developer or an next level of engineers. Okay. Right. Here I'm not doing anything. See, by default, everything is got selected. Resource group, location, and my VM name. If I want to change my VM name, I want to keep like Windows hyphen VM hyphen 01. Then also it will accept. So it will read and accept, and you can also use your uh, VM size. So some people in my previous class they asked me, sir, how we can know the VM size name, like how we can, like there is a no drop down option where from where we can select it, right? That was a very good question. So where I want to explain it also. You have a multiple. You can go through and site over here. It's called as Azure VM sizes. Okay. Where you will get the entire size name. So click on sizes of virtual machine. Like you have a different types of family, and if I want to go with a D family, or you can call as a let me do it. Okay. List of all available sizes. Click on D family. So D family general purpose VMs. In that DPS V6 and DPL VS. So here you can see the name, view full DPL series page. Yeah, you can see here. You can use this name, standard DP2. So it's a size name. So you need to specify this as a size name so that your code will understand. Okay, you are going to use this size. So I will go with DV5, right? That's what we are using, right? DV5 only, right? D2, yes, V5. Computer optimization. Yes, second version. You can go to the site and you can get the names. Okay, so like that you can copy any of the name, and you can mention the size name, that you can do it, and you need not to do anything more over here. Okay, next, the next step is nothing but just review and create. That's it. So entire thing will be taken care by the code itself, which we it's a default code which has been provided by Microsoft. So it will take some time. Between that, if you have any questions, let me know. Okay. What output should come when our VMC is working? ARM template same as CLI? No, Wahid, ARM templates are not as same as CLI. CLI is nothing but it's a command oriented script where you need to write a command for entire thing. So it's a ARM is an automation template. ARM is an automation template which is completely built in the form of JSON format, and only the thing is like in the form of JSON format, and you need only to deploy it by making some modification. It's a default template which has been generated or created by Microsoft, and you need to modify and uh, modify as per your requirement, and you need to deploy it. Okay. So Israr, I did not able to understand. I want to know, we make images of Linux, right? So what output should come when our VMC is working? So I did not get your question, Israr. Just if you can raise your hand so that I can enable you to speak out so that I can understand. Yes, Israr. Assalamu alaikum. Hello. Israr, I'm not able to hear your voice.
Hello,
Israr.
can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Yeah, just wanted to know, we are making virtual machine one, two, three, but trying to, it means we are not supposed to check whether our virtual machine is working right or wrong, or it's not working like that. We cannot do anything. We cannot check like that anything.
Yeah, we can check. We have already checked it
I
in the
checked
previous.
last video, last class. I checked whenever we are trying to put this IP address on the web page, it's showing. Uh, uh, it means there is some problem every time that we are getting some problem, right? Like what
No, no.
error we are getting all the times, 17 dash like this. There is one IP address.
We are only what you can say, trying to launch a website. Why? Because we have created a user data. From there we are trying to launch a website. Okay, don't worry about that. Leave it about the Linux machine. Okay, so
Mhm.
we will create a Windows machine now. Just now I spin a Windows virtual machine right now by using a
Mhm.
template. We try to log in with the Windows template, and we will see. Okay.
Uh, Templates, and what is the image? You made some image Linux, right?
Yeah, you can make image of anything, like not only the Linux. You can make the image
Okay.
of.
So for what reason we are making image?
The reason for making an image is nothing but we are creating a copy. See, let me take an example, like a recently released a old movie is there. Okay, you
Mm-hmm.
have an old movie, and you want to keep that old movie in a safer place, or you want to make a multiple copies of that your old movie, whether if you see that okay, this old movie is written on one of the CD, or where I want to make a copy, you will, what we will do, you will create a multiple images of your CD drive, right, of your
Uh-huh.
CD, right. So that
Okay.
is nothing but you are creating an image, so that that can be used a later purpose. So here also I have what I did is I have build and virtual machine. I have installed all the related softwares on that, and tested successfully. Feels that, so it has been, I have tested it successfully, and it was
Mm-hmm.
working fine. So I have created an image for that. Okay, and I kept that machine, I have stopped that machine, I have removed that machine from my environment. So now I have an image. So I am not going to cost the Azure is not going to cost me for any image. So he is
Okay.
going to cost me for resources which I am running. So if I keep my virtual machine like that only, after some time, after 1 month or 2 months, so management will ask me why you have kept this virtual machine. So I will
Mm-hmm.
say that okay, yeah, I have deployed one software, I am waiting for an approval. Okay. So
Mm-hmm.
waiting for approval, till approval taken 1 month for me. So entirely means in a 1 month I have spent around some of $200 to $300 on that virtual machine. But there is no use. Instead of that, I can create an image for that, right? Image I am not going to cost anything. I have created the image. So once I got an approval, by using the same image, I am going to spin a new virtual machine. I need
Mm-hmm.
not to make any changes. Okay, that's
Okay.
an advantage of an image.
So just
Okay,
to save our place, that's it.
save our configuration,
Configuration. Okay.
and you can use that image to
Uh-huh.
build your new virtual machine in any location.
Okay.
See, let us take an example. I have a company where I may require more than 10 to 15 servers, but I
Mm-hmm.
cannot going on and creating 10 to 15 servers one by one, right? So I created a
Mm-hmm.
one server and I have created an
Mm-hmm.
image.
Okay.
At the time of creating a new servers, I will mention that I require 15 servers for the same image.
Mm-hmm.
So Azure will automatically build 15 servers for me by using the
Okay.
same
No need
image.
to build a separate of 15 times. Same thing.
15 times you need not to do it.
Okay.
So these are the multiple options, multiple things which enables you as called as an image. Okay.
Okay. That's
So
last
image can
question.
be yeah, Israr image can be whatever it may be the operating system. Just for the testing purpose, I have used Linux. You can use
Mm-hmm.
Windows. You can use
Mm-hmm.
Mac. You can use any operating system. Okay.
Mm-hmm. No, I
Okay.
try, but I can't. It means I'm not getting the same thing. Like it's not getting proper answer like output. The same thing when
Mhm.
I'm even you when I saw your video also at that time you are trying to put that 10 dot 0 dot 0 dot like this HTTP. When you
Okay.
put the web page on the web page, it's showing the same
Yeah,
thing. This site can't be
it's
reached.
giving error. Yeah, it's giving error. Why? Because
Yeah, error.
we have not enabled the ports.
Uh-huh.
So we need to enable the ports. So we have not enabled the ports. But at the time of website creation, we will
Uh-huh.
have a separate class for that, where we will create a website and we will deploy it from virtual machine.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
So,
at that point you will understand where I need to enable my ports and how we are going to access the site.
mm-hmm.
So we are going to build a new website. We are going to build some small testing website, and we are going
Okay.
to deploy it through our Azure resources, so that at that
Okay.
time you will understand. Okay.
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 Yes, Azhar. Azhar once for server connecting issue website. Okay. So we will do it. So not on a website. We will use an SSH to connect your server. So you want me to connect the server and see how the server is getting connected, right? So that we will show you. Okay. Oh, clear now, Azhar?
Yeah. Just wanted to know the for my language the output when we make when we put this HTTP. it should come
Mm-hmm.
out something answerable. Like what we did, we should get something, not like error like this. This side is this
Yes,
side
yes.
can't be reached like that.
Of app deployments, website
Okay,
deployment. Okay.
okay, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Machine other. Just give me a minute. Let me see if my virtual machine is ready or not. Validation failed. View order details. Why my validation is failed? The domain name label Windows hyphen 10 is invalid. Okay. So I need to use some different name. It's showing me as an invalid. The name which I have used. Okay. I will come to basic. So let us take Windows VM01 review and create. It's saying as I have selected an operating system here as a Windows, so I should not use the Windows here. I am using as VM01. Now validation is passed now. Okay. Any more questions? Let me take up the questions if you have till my virtual machine got ready. Deployment in process. Yeah, my deployment is ready now. So let us go for my virtual machine and see that yes, my virtual machine is ready. So yes, yes, sir.
Uh, can you hear me now?
Yes, yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm also just trying to this deploy a simple window machine. I'm getting the error that you have to change the VM size location. So I cannot change here. There is no any option to change the this D2S V5.
Yes, we can change it, right? That's what I shown you. So go to you need to know size. What is the size you are mentioning? You can go to this side. Let me paste you in the chat window. That is a
Uh,
virtual machine document. It's a uh, yes. Go to this site. This gives you about your virtual machine sizes.
mhm.
Go for general purpose. So in the general purpose, you can use a D. So D series, DV5. You click on that DV5. You can see standard D2 underscore VS5. So you can use this as a name. Okay. Or if you
It's
can go
already
D. Yes, yes,
this.
that's what I was telling. So you can use this name. You can copy here this name and you can paste over there in the column where you are
Uh-huh.
going to create an template.
Uh-huh.
So ARM template, I am using this here as an ARM template. Why? Because I think the location what you are selecting, maybe that
Mm.
location does not have that resources, that virtual machine to deploy it. So that's the reason I think it's giving some error. So here in a region also, if you want, you can select here. We don't have a drop down options for this. You need to add manually. Like you need to remove this and
Mm-hmm.
then you need to add this. Okay, copy and paste. So we don't have a drop down option here for to
Okay.
select it by default. So you need to remove this, you need to copy and you need to paste. So even though if you want to add some location name also, that also I need to remove here.
Uh, this development you said, right?
Yes. Deploy
Develop.
yeah, deploy a simple VM.
Deploy.
Okay. Here you can see.
Uh, no, I cannot reach till D series. You show me, right? Where is that D series like that?
You have accessed the site.
Yeah, I access already.
Just let me show you again.
Yeah.
You access this site here.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. In the left side column, go for general compute,
General
general
purpose.
purpose,
Okay.
general purpose, and there you select D family.
General purpose. Okay. And
D
D
family.
family.
And
Okay.
there you come down and select DSV5
DSV5.
or
Okay.
DV4 or anything you can select.
Mm-hmm.
So
So,
come down here in a DSV
uh-huh.
file.
Okay. So
So
we have to try one by one or something, or what?
So here, the sizes is depends upon your requirement. See, if I say as a standard size, standard D2SV5, then
Mm-hmm.
these name contains two virtual CPU and 8 GB of memory, RAM memory. So
Okay.
if my application require so four virtual CPU and 16 GB of RAM memory, then I need to use this as a standard name, size name.
So each and every time we have to, it means if our data gone bigger then we have to change again the this one. If we put in
Yes.
our
See,
virtual machine
yeah,
some
our
data,
virtual
then
machine
what?
type you need to change. So good question, Israr. Like I have shown this also in your previous Friday class. Like you need to modify your instance type or in your virtual machine sizing. So based upon your requirement, sometimes what happened is application has built based upon like let me take as D4V5 with 4 CPU and 16 GB of RAM memory. So
Mm-hmm.
after some time, I feel that my application is getting slow, and I need to increase my memory as well as processor. So at that point, what you need to do is you need to change the size name now. So previously it was in standard D4 yes underscore V5. Now you will be going for standard. D8S underscore V5. So once you change this, automatically your CPU will be get doubled, as well as your memory will be get doubled.
Mm-hmm.
So
Now, since I'm talking with you, I try five. It means I went till D. This one is last is what, but it's not all the time. I'm getting the same error.
right,
D6,
right, right,
D5.
right. That's what Israr. That's what I want to tell you. So it's
Uh-huh.
also sometimes depends upon multiple things. Like first thing, you are using an free tier version. Okay,
Okay.
free tier version does not support all this series. First
Okay.
point, and
Mm-hmm.
second point, it should be an regional specific also. So if you are selecting, let me show you one thing here. If I am selecting here the resource group, so my resource group, for example, I am selecting an RG02. So you can see
Mm-hmm.
automatically it has been selected my West US 2. Here I cannot select the region. Why? Because this region is defined based upon my resource group. So
Okay.
in my previous class, what we did is we have manually created our virtual machines, and we try to move the virtual machines from one resource group to another resource group. But here
Mm-hmm.
in your code deployment, so the when I select the region, so it will take the region resource group region where the resource group has been created. See, for example, resource group 2 is created in West US 2. So when I'm
Mm-hmm.
selecting as a resource group, automatically it's selecting a West US 2. Okay, when I'm selecting a resource group 3, automatically it is selecting as Central India, Asia Pacific. Why?
Mm-hmm.
Why? Because this resource group is created under Central India.
Okay.
Okay, so
Yeah.
here these deployments, previously we did manually, so that
Mm-hmm.
manually we does not find any issues. When we are
Mm-hmm.
trying to deploy it in a code base, so
Mm-hmm.
in the form of code base, it's in interlinked. It was linked with one to another. So when I select a
Mm-hmm.
resource group, automatically it's selecting in my region. So from where my this region details is getting based upon my resource group. And so this resource group, I am using D4 yes underscore V5. Okay, let me take this only, and I will use the same username and password. Let me try it. So I am using
Mm-hmm.
a same name called a simple VM. So I am using a standard D4S underscore V5, and I will be saying as review and create. Let me see whether it can be create or not.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, now it's accepting me to create. So
Okay.
you select the same thing. So create the resource group in Central India and use the standard D4 yes underscore V5.
Uh, Let me.
Okay,
So I have to change the region. I have to try with change after changing the region again.
no, you have created the resource group, right?
Yeah.
Where you have created the resource group, in which region?
East US.
East to US. Okay, I think that was an
Okay.
issue.
Okay.
Let me.
One more. If I use another,
Do
I
you have
have
any other
three.
resource group?
Yeah. Eat all regions showing East US only.
Okay. I have created a resource group now. Let me try
Uh,
it. In a East region only I have created this. Create a virtual Windows machine, and here I'm selecting a resource group 1. So automatically it has pulled my details called as East US. I'm using my same username and password. Okay, I am using a standard D2S underscore V5. Instead of that, sorry, D4S underscore V5. I am using this now. So I copy and paste. Make sure you should not have any spaces and front and back. So otherwise won't take it. It will give you the error.
I'm using the copy paste.
Okay. Review and create. So let me see
ECS
my validation.
for current usage, 2 additional requires, 4 maximum, new limit required, 6. Just
Yes, it's getting failed. Seeing an error. The request to VM size resource following SQU has failed the capacity restrictions. So I don't have a capacity. I have a restrictions that I cannot use a standard D4S5 under this region. Okay.
Mhm.
So that's the reason, that's the issue. So that's why it's getting failed. Okay.
Okay.
So what I will do, I will go for B family now. Okay, let us take some B series. Okay.
B.
B series. Here you have selected D family, right? So
Yeah.
I'm selecting now. Here is a in top of that you have a B family. Go for B
Okay.
series. Okay. Here you have read more about B series CPU credential modules and yeah sizes in series. So I will be using this one standard B2S V2. Okay. I am using this now. Go for basic.
B2S.
Copy and paste this one. Click review and click create. It will try to validate. It's also getting failed. I think there is some issue with yes. This is also not allowed. So here he is providing me a link from where I can see SQU is not available. Let me go and use default one
Mhm.
for home. Yep. Create Windows virtual machine. So I will be selecting RG01. So you can use this one for this region, A series.
A series.
Yes. Wahid, you are in the same US region?
No. After using a series, getting a big error box coming out.
Which you have selected?
A4, A A4 V2.
A4V2, right? For me, it's creating it, right?
No, I'm getting a
You are
big error.
using, yeah, using East US only, right?
Yeah, East US only.
You can see my screen. For me, it's creating.
Yeah.
You do one thing. You keep this site handy. Let me share you one link. See, you keep this link. Everyone keep this link handy. This will be very helpful link. Yes. Here you need to select a region. For example, let me take an US. Okay. And if I say these two series of instances, okay, say search Central US, East US, East US 2, North Central US, Central US, and all these locations contain this series of instances. So if you want, you can go for East US, expand this East US. In a East US, you can go for D series. There's been some side. ADS V5 series is also available in your East US region. So you can see the availabilities, which series of address, which series of instances are available in which location. So D series is completely available. Series wise, you can see the region and specific one. Okay.
Hmm.
So are you still facing any issue, Isra?
Yeah, still same. I went to this website what you sent the link. I'm on this website. Uh, Now next what you said after
Okay.
I'm in region.
Do one thing, Isra.
Yeah.
You close that one and open it again and try it again. Okay. You will get
Or else you want me to make a one new region with the east somewhere?
Yeah.
Please share like that.
You delete your old resource group and create the new resource group with some
Mm-hmm.
US Central or US West location.
Okay.
east central or some any other location, and then try it with that. Okay.
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 Yeah.
Okay, sir. Okay. So here by using this we have deployed it. Okay, let me connect to virtual machine now. So we have one virtual machine. So click on this virtual machine, say connect. So once I click on connect, there are multiple options to connect. So I can connect through an RDP, and there are four other ways also from where I can connect. That is called as by using serial console, by using go to Western. So this is a separate tool. It's a premium paid edition, or by using an your local browser, connect in a browser like Azure portal. So configure and check connection. So I cannot connect here by using an Windows Admin Center. Why? Because 6516 port is not allowed, as well as outbound port is not allowed. Have you remember, like we have created some ports, we have created some HTTP ports. So in the code modification, we have made some code modifications. Okay, let's see whether it has been applied or not. Let's go for networking. In that, go for networking, and in that, go for network settings. Save the script, then we need to run it. So we have run the default script, it has been pulled a default edition. Okay, let's connect it now. Let's go and connect now by using an RDP. So you are going to download an RDP file, keep, and you will say open, connect. Right. Now you are connecting your virtual machine. This virtual machine is built on your Azure environment.
حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة.
Okay, now we have connected our Azure virtual machine. Okay, so this is a virtual machine which we have connected right now. This is a virtual machine which is already running from my console. Okay, let me see. Click on local server. VM01, the same name which I am used right in my console, that is called as VM01. VM01. Yeah. Sorry. Okay, it's clear now, right, everyone? So let me start with the new another new topic. Okay. Azure management. What do you mean by management? Can anyone? What do you mean by management? Management is nothing but uh, how you are going to manage your resources, or you can call as the things what you are running on your cloud environment. So Azure has defined their management in a multiple ways. So how securely you are going to manage your resources. So Azure is built on five major things, that is on governance, configure, monitor, protect, secure, and migrate. So on six major things, your uh, Azure management is relied on six main pillars you can call. So Azure management refers to a set of tools and services that enable users to effectively manage their cloud resources, infrastructures, and applications within the Microsoft Azure platform. So these are nothing but multiple. Azure provides n number of tools. By using the tools, you can manage your users, and you can also manage your cloud resources, okay, and your applications and your infrastructure which is running on your platform, means Microsoft platform. Okay, there are six possible ways or six best secure things which by using that you are managing your Azure resources. First, let us say as a migrate. So what do you mean by migrate? Migrate is nothing but if you want to uh, uh, come to an US, like if you want to use in cloud infrastructure, Microsoft cloud infrastructure as your basic infrastructure, like then you are migrating your on-prem data centers to your cloud. That is first step, that is called as migration tool. So migration will lead many issues, like sometimes your application compatibility issue, sometimes your security related issue, sometimes your resource compatibility issue. So let me take one example. Like I have I used to use some 3 crore sorry 4 core processor and 62 GB of RAM memory for my 64 GB of my RAM memory for my on-prem server. But Azure won't provide 4 GB, 4 core as well as 64. It provide 16 core plus 64. So here my processor capability has been changed. So my performance capability has been changed. So in this way, so Azure has his own standard sets. So by using that standard sets only, you are going to migrate your virtual machines. Okay, so that is one type of migration tool we can call. So by using an Azure migration tool, you can migrate your resources. And next is governance. Governance means what? Governance is nothing but policy management as well as cost management. What do you mean by policy management? So as you can see, last time few minutes back, we are trying to create one resource, one virtual machine, and my console is not allowing me to create a resource. Why? Reason because it has been restricted, saying that this location and these type of subscriptions only should use XYZ of a virtual machine size. So from after that virtual machine, they are not allowed. So that is nothing but a restriction. That is nothing but a policy. You can define and you can set a policy for your Azure resources, and parallelly you can also manage the costs. How the cost is applicable, and how what is the utilization of a particular virtual machine. So by using sorry, actually I'm facing some health issues, so that's the reason I could not able to talk very loudly. So right, next is your cost management also, and next is your configurations. Configure user management, auto management, and scripting. So configurations deals with update management, automation, and scripting. What is an update management? The resources, the virtual machines which you are running on your Azure platform, they need to get updated. So that is only possible by using an update management. So next is automation. Automation is what do you mean by automation? If I want to say that my virtual machine need to start up at early morning 8 a.m. IST, and at 8 p.m. IST it need to be shut down. So what I will do, as a normal engineer, I will log into my portal and I will start my virtual machine. So I will log into my portal and I will stop my virtual machine. So this was my daily routine task. But these types of tasks can be automated. So we can create a script, we can create a PowerShell script and says that, hey cloud, you start this particular virtual machine on particular time, and you stop this virtual machine on particular time. So this just it's a I have given you an example. Okay, so like you can create an automation, and you can by using a scripts, or script is nothing but your languages, or your called as your PowerShell scripts, your commands. Okay, next is your monitor. So what do you mean by monitor? So monitor means you need to monitor entire your infrastructure, or entire your cloud resources which are running on your cloud platform. So let me take, I am running my virtual machine, I am running my application servers, I am running my data centers. So I need to monitor this. So I require some monitoring tools. So for that is called as management tools or management monitoring tools. So by using that monitoring tools, I will manage my application, I will monitor my application, as well as I can also see that how many users are connected to my particular site right now. So that is called as application management. And also I can also manage some other issues, like if I have any CPU utilization, or any virtual machine has went down. So such type of issues can also be monitored by using a monitoring tools. So that's the reason. So the third main important is monitoring. And then next comes to your security. So what do you mean by security? Security, or you can call as protection, or protecting your resources by taking the data backup, by using disaster recovery, or by using a disaster recovery tool. So and you have next last final one is nothing but your security by using a secure management, threat protection. So it protect that unwanted threats need not to be allowed into your cloud environment. So who is going to protect? Microsoft has deployed a lot of cloud security engineers for their data centers. They are providing a huge security of your data. Okay, so say previously the security was the major concern, but now the security is not a major concern for any of the company to migrate to cloud environment. Okay, so let's discuss depth into that. Okay, Azure management. The first concept is nothing but a resource group management. As like you already know about resource group, what we are doing, doing till now. So we are spinning our virtual machines, we can spin our app services, we can use storage data, and we can use a SQL database, and all these are used for a from a resource group. And you can see that we have an authentication option from where that resource group can apply the policies. So from what are the connectivity points? So till now we have seen an Azure portal. So from a Azure portal we are connecting a resource group, but we can also use an Azure CLI or Azure PowerShell and reset clients. So it's nothing but API clients. From a clients also I can connect my uh, Azure Management. So here, let me show you why how I can connect. So let me take, this is an Visual Studio, and here you can see I have connected my Azure, and here I can see how many virtual machines. Just now I have created a virtual machine. I need to refresh it, I think. I'm refreshing it. Just a minute. So here I have used, this is a tool. It's an API tool. From API tool, I have connected this API tool. So I can use a VM. You click on this VM. So I need to install some extensions over here. I need to install it. So it gives me the entire code. Let me close and open it. Okay, this is nothing but a software tool from where I have connected my Azure account. So there are multiple ways to connect your Azure resources. One is your Azure portal and your Azure CLI and Azure PowerShell and a reset client. So I will show you about Azure CLI also right now. Release my console. You can see here on the top of that Cloud Shell. This is also one type of connectivity from where you can connect your resources. Now you have connected your uh, command oriented sure, you can switch to PowerShell. So now it will be shifting you to your PowerShell command or PowerShell terminal. So Cloud Shell is a Linux based, it's a bash commands we need to use. So but here you can use a Microsoft PowerShell commands. So get hyphen AZ virtual networks get AZ subscription. It provided me the subscription details. Get hyphen Azure resource. So your resource group, your name, uh, my VNet name, and my location, and availabilities and all. So like that, we have multiple commands. So if you want to get a commands list, AZ commands in PowerShell, right? Remembering of a commands will be little bit difficult, but we can use a list of commands. I don't know. Can get it. So these are some of the few commands. Let me see. You can create new VM by using this new VM configure. So like this, we have separate session for this where we will discussing about an Azure commands, few of the commands. Just now for your understanding purpose, I am telling it. Get hyphen AZ VM. It provide you the all the VM details which is running on your Azure subscription. So this is a PowerShell oriented command. From this also, I can connect my resource group and I can, that is nothing but Azure CLI, Azure PowerShell, and from your API and from Azure portal. So these are multiple ways from where I can input or I can connect to my Azure resources I can manage. Okay, so that is called as your Azure Resource Manager. Okay, Azure Resource Manager is also offer a features like an access controller and tag to help secure organization resources. Okay, next is your Azure Management Groups. So what is the Azure Management Groups? Like I said, sorry, in your previous class, management groups is a top level group. It's a main group which is called as a root group. And under the root group, you can create multiple production groups or deployment group or QA group. And under that groups, you can have a subscriptions. So multiple subscriptions can be added under a one group, or you can use an individual subscription also. So here under a particular subscription, you have a resource group associated with that. So you can create the policy under the resource group, or you can create the policy under the subscription. Okay. So if I talk about a management group, you can go here and you can see subscription. When I click on subscription, let me go for management groups. So overview of management groups, you can see top level, it's nothing but tenant root group. It's a management group. Under that, you have another group called as your subscription group. So this is your top level group, and under that you have a subscription group. So if you want to add, you can add multiple subscriptions, and if you want to create a management group or more groups, you can click on here and you can see your management group ID cannot be updated after creation. Okay. So under this management group, I am going to create an additional group. Don't have any group ID. I need to create a group ID. I can add multiple subscription. This is one subscription I have. So if I have multiple subscription, I can remove this and I can add multiple subscriptions over here. Okay. So I am unauthorized. Why? Because I am using a free trial. So that's the reason these options are disabled for me. So when I go for pay as you go, so these options will be enabled so that I can use a management for management group. And then under that management group, you have a subscriptions, and under that you have a resource group. So these are used as a group Azure subscriptions together, enabling effective management and policy applications at scale. So management group mirror your organization structure, allowing you to apply governance policy as well as access control. Okay. So across multiple subscriptions. So across multiple subscriptions, you are allowed to access these resources. Okay. So under that, next is your Azure monitoring. So what is your Azure monitoring? Azure monitoring is one of the monitoring tasks where you can see this diagram. So let me expand you. Okay. Here you can see as data source, data platform, and consumption. So what do you mean by data source? Data source is a source of data from where the data will be taken as an input, and in your Azure monitor will be have a one platform where we will call it a data platform, where your logs and your changes and your metrics, so your tracks will be kept here, and that can be consumed or monitored by using other applications, containers, VMs, networks. So you can manage that. So let's go and see. Let's go and see that. Okay. If you go here on a monitoring, monitor, Azure Monitor is one of the best tool. Okay. To monitor here, application insight, container insights, and VM insights and network insights. So if you see VM insight, enable VM insights, analyze the data and create alerts. So you can create multiple alerts and we will also see how the alerts are working on the Azure Management, and we will also see how the alerts are working on the Azure monitoring. So we will be doing this as a lab practical sessions where we will be monitoring, where we will be monitoring alerts. We will also create some alerts and we will see how the alerts will be working on it. Okay, in our coming classes, in our monitoring topic, we will be discussing about this. Okay. Okay. Next is your API management. So it's nothing but application management. Whenever the external system try to access your particular application on your Azure, then the request is to be sent for your Azure API management, and that API need to be get authenticated, means that your Microsoft enter ID, your Azure should know that who are you to access this particular application. Nothing but you will have a token, you will get a token, and that token will be get acknowledged by your application, so that your application starts working on it. Okay, so it is interlinked with your Entra ID and your application management. Then you have Azure Identity and Access Management, where Azure has a uh, separate directory which we are calling as Azure AD, or we in a, nowadays it has been changed as a Entra ID. So this Entra ID is a central authentication process where we will be creating a users and we will be creating a policies to the particular users, so that it can access the applications. Like you can access on-prem applications, you can access cloud hosted applications, and you can also use the SaaS applications for monitoring the resources. Okay. Next is your Azure governance. That's what I said. These are the policies where we are enforcing to apply some of the policies, where Azure offers multiple tools like user policies, user roles, and you are defining the conditions and which type of condition, either the policy need to be applied on a subscription level or on a resource group or on a Azure resources. So where you want to apply the policies, that will be taken care by Azure governance. So Azure governance is about defining and enforcing the policy to ensure that your Azure environment is secure and complex and cost effective. Azure offers various tools and services to implement governance, such as policy management groups and blueprints. So and next we have next another thing is called as Azure Automation. So Azure Automation is one of the another service or another management tool where it manage your automation and also streamline your means tasks, whatever the tasks we are using. So for this we will be using an runbooks called as Azure runbooks, so which are associated with webhooks, like running your PowerShell, running your HTTP post from your web books. So this also we will be seeing it. We are going to create a run books and we are doing some automation also. How we are automation is working, we will see all this in a lab sessions, practical lab session, one by one. And next is Azure Update Management. Azure Update Management or Azure Update Manager. So which is used to update your Windows or Linux operating system servers by deploying a security patches, by deploying your critical and security patches, and by software deployment also. We can use your software. We can deploy your software on the multiple resources. Okay. And next, last is nothing but Azure cost management. So this cost management is also very much important. So it will analyze by using the cost management. So we can analyze our bills and what are the costs is applied on particular subscription. What is the uh, storage cost, what is the VM cost, and what is the application services cost. So everything will be get invoiced. So we can see the invoice based upon the subscription, based upon the resource group, and based upon the management group. So by using that, we can define our subscription levels, and we can also manage our cost based upon the billing. Azure billing, and Azure has a wonderful feature called as Azure Advisors. So where, yes, you need to provide your requirement saying that, boss, I want to use my application. I want to use one application for these many days, and this is my workload, and these are the scripts. So you need to specify a few things. Based upon that, the Azure calculator, Azure monitor will be, so Azure Advisor will calculate and will provide you as much as minimum cost billing resources. So let me take, like, if I want to only use a simple web application, and I have only some around 500 to 1000 users, those who are connecting that, then I need to host such type of application, and you need to provide this input to Azure Advisor. Azure Advisor will give you that, okay, you need not to go with the high end server, just use the basic server and use this application and this application, so that the cost will be get reduced, and cost will be in a cost effective way manner. It will provide me a output. So this is also a best feature in Azure management, Azure cost management, sorry, Azure cost management, that we will learn how we will be using an Azure advisors. Okay. So these are nothing but a main management tools where our task comes into a picture. So the reason for explaining this all this thing is was because, so our as an administrator, so we need to manage, we are going to migrate, we need to understand about the policies, we need to understand about the update manager, we need to understand the automation, we need to understand about the scripting, we need to understand about the monitoring, how we are going to monitor the resources, and we also used to understand how we are going to protect by using a backup and disaster recovery, and we also use a threat protection like Microsoft Defender, how we are going to use a Microsoft Defender. So these are 6 areas which we will be covering in our entire syllabus. Okay. So you have any queries on that? So that tomorrow onwards we will be discussing about an Azure policies, and we will be creating multiple users on Azure, and we will try to deploy some virtual machines using that policies. So hope everyone is clear about deploying a virtual machines. If not, just please deploy the virtual machines, create your virtual machines with your, by using a manual virtual machine creation, by using a templates, just do the labs. Why? Because we from now on means we are playing entirely with virtual machines, and we are working with multiple resources now. Virtual machine is a compute basic understanding, so which you need to understand it, and you also need to understand how you are going to create the virtual machine, and what are the regions, and what are the resource group, and how the resources groups are working. So just make sure you understand each and everything about the virtual machine, which I've explained you right now about virtual machine sizing, changing the virtual machine size from one size to another size, and how you are going to deploy using a template, how you are manually creating the virtual machine, and how you are going to access your virtual machine by keeping username and password. So these are all are some basic concepts which you need to understand. So going further, we will be discussing about your Azure policies, and as well as we are going to discuss about users and creation, your enter ID, and how we are going to access how the users are getting access, and then later we will slowly we will move to some of the advanced topic like enter ID applications, and how you are going to manage your applications, manage your containers and containerization, your storage and your blob storage, and etc and etc. So inshallah we will be covering tomorrow some about policies and users. So okay, so if you have any queries in that, just let me know. We will have another 5 minutes of session so that we can discuss if you have any queries. Let me see. Hope you don't have any queries. So we will end up the session here. So inshallah we will come and connect tomorrow. Okay.